Welcome back to another interview here with the Florida Aviation Network. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts here at the U.S. Sport Aviation Expo 2015 at Sebring. And we have a gentleman here, Randy Boone. Randy,
Hey, Ben.
how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
See how we do this mic thing?
Yes, I do.
It works quick, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Just don't hit me in the teeth.
No promises, no promises. Randy, I understand you're with Aviation Survival Technologies, and I would like for you to teach me how to survive aviation. Is that the spin? How do I survive aviation?
Well, you survive aviation simply by being safe and taking certain precautions before you go flying, making sure you have proper equipment, and making sure that you get plenty of training to take care of things that go wrong, that you can, counterattack and take care of and change things around to make yourself better.
Well, Randy, if I was flying along, just as they say, fat, dumb, and happy, and I happen to be over a large body of water, what should I have with me?
Well, I always tell people three things in particular. A life vest, and you need to be wearing your life vest while you're in the aircraft. You need to have a personal locator beacon attached to you, not somewhere on the aircraft, and you need to have a life vest or a life raft. The life raft is something that's simple to get out of the aircraft. Once you get out with it, then you're going to be happy that you have that.
But Randy, I'm a pretty good swimmer, and I'm in pretty good shape, and I could probably tread water for quite a while. Why do I really need that kind of? Because I always carry a vest. You have to by regulation, and it's always in the baggage compartment. Always carry it with me wherever I go. But I'm a good swimmer. Anything wrong with that?
Well, there are a lot of good swimmers out there, and people think that because you're in the Florida warm waters that it's going to be safe to swim. The problem is when you're swimming, you're opening up all the areas that cause a hypothermia and cold water near drowning areas. So by doing that, your movement, you're convecting and conducting water across those areas, causing you to lose your heat quicker than you would if you were to stay in the water and stay, wrapped up and close off those areas. So to say that the life vest is in the aircraft, it's not going to do you any good if it's not on you when you go in. That's for sure.
Well, and I look at this type of equipment basically as insurance. And if you don't have good insurance, it's not going to help you if you have an emergency or a problem. And tell us a little bit more about what you have on around your neck there, Randy.
Okay, this is the new life vest that Switlick Parachute Company or Switlick Survival Products has put out. They had it before where it was just open right in here and you can attach pockets to it. They have sewn the pockets on now, and this is now the way the vest is going to be configured. I brought it here to this show because I thought it would be very exciting for a lot of the people that are sitting in the smaller cockpits that don't have a whole lot of room. This allows you to not only have inflation, but allows you to have two pockets to carry the PLB that I mentioned earlier, personal locator beacon,
Okay.
and a signal mirror and a whistle and a few other items. You can carry that in here. Even some little packets of water you can carry in here. So it's a good idea when you go out of that aircraft. Always say what you have on you is what you're going to have with you. So when you come out of that aircraft, you're going to have some pretty good equipment on you if you have it on you. To go back into the aircraft is crazy. You don't go into a burning building and you don't go back into a sinking aircraft. So when that plane goes down, you're going to be left with what you have. And if you have signaling equipment, in particular a personal locator beacon, turn that on. They know where you are. They know who you are. And always tell people to write down a little more information on your registration on the PLB. Tell them that you have a life raft or life vest, and that actually will help them find you and extend your search time as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's being morbid or being a bad habit or bad karma to tell people. It's just like on the flight plan, you put down what color of your aircraft is. I mean, little things like that help the rescuers find you. And Randy, I have a phobia about things hanging down in the water. And even though I'm a good swimmer and I could probably tread water for at least a minute, that's a joke. Okay, that's a joke. Okay. I'm worried about stuff dangling down in the water. What do I do if I don't want to wear a vest?
What do you mean as far as dangling down in the water? You want to get in a life raft?
I want a life raft.
Yes, absolutely. A life raft would get you out of the water. You have the life vest on. That's good to keep you afloat and help you, close up. but if you can get into a life raft, it increases your chance of survival considerably. It gets you out of the water, which is very important to prevent from hypothermia, but it also gets you out of the sun. If you have a canopy on it, you can close that canopy up at nighttime, during a rainstorm, whatever, you can have that shelter over you. So you increase your chances considerably by getting out of the water into a life raft. This particular one that I have right here is a Switlick, same company that makes the vest. Switlick started these several years ago, making them for the military, and in fact, even today, the Coast Guard rescue swimmers use this particular life raft when they come out of the helicopter. It's called an ISPR, which is an inflatable single-person life raft, and what it does is it allows you to climb out of the water. You get into this, it's a single person. Your butt actually lays down in this area here, and then your feet will come up here, so you're actually in kind of a sitting position, and you can be as long as 6'11" and still fit into this little device right here. Once you get in, you want to blow your upper tube up. Now this automatically inflates when you pull the inflation, but you have to inflate this upper tube with the oral inflation tube. And then once you get that out, you want to get the water out of the raft and then close it up. And you do that simply by zipping up the zipper on it.
I see the zipper here.
And you just zip that around. Okay. You go all the way around. You're like in a cocoon. You got the water is going to go right over you. It's not coming in. You've got a little window to look out. It has a sea anchor out in the back to keep your the back of the life raft to the swells and to the wind. So you can pretty much maneuver anything from this life raft as far as a personal locator beacon, put it up here. You can do the signal mirror, whistle, all kinds of devices from this little device right here, this little life raft.
Wow, Randy, when situation hits the fan or goes south, it sure would be nice to have a little apartment in the water to stay in while they come pick you up. And I could just imagine an appliance here. I thought I saw some speakers up here.
Yeah, it's got speakers, refrigerator in the back. And
that's a little apartment on the water.
Yeah, you can do a little party in there. You got a little refrigerator, air conditioning, all that stuff in there.
Your better-looking brother here has some things that you. What does this look like when it's not all outside?
Okay. Yeah, that's Daniel Boone there, by the way. His name came from Daniel Boone, the original one. He's about that old. This is the original design. Whoops. This is the original, sorry. This is original design right here. Basically, it's round 12 inches long, 8 inches around, and it weighs 5.5 pounds. A very eye raiser for a lot of the pilots. They like that low weight. Single person, you could put 2 of them if you have a 2-seater, or just a single plane idea. I came back through here a few years ago, and I went around and showed this to a lot of the Sea Ray and all the different amphibian type aircraft. And I noticed there was a little shelf in the back behind all of them. So I figured, well, this might be, rolling around a little bit too much. So I called Switlick and said, can you make me a square pack? And sure enough, they delivered. They came out with this square pack right here. They call it the Brick, which I don't know if it's a good name or not, but for a life raft. But you can see it's a little bit smaller than the round pack, and that's because it's vacuum packed. It's hermetically sealed, and this has a 5-year reinspection on it. And this life raft here is TSO approved as well. So anyway, this particular one can go back on the back shelf. And I said, I told them that they could put a little strip of Velcro down here and just stick it to the carpet that's back there, and that thing's going to just stay stationary. It's not going to go rolling around like that one will. So I was glad that Switlick came out with that design. I think it's a better design for the LSA type aircraft.
It looks like it would stack better and just load better.
Yes.
And we talked about all the good things and the virtues, and I'm 100% behind you, but what's the bad news?
Well, the bad news
Price tag.
What's that? Oh, the
price tag.
The bad news is if you don't have it. No, the price tag on these run somewhere between $900 and $1,300, and there's different configurations. They actually have this in a vest type design as well. It's a little cumbersome for the pilot because it's got about that thick a padding in the back. but you know, though the belt packs are going to cost a little more, and then hermetically sealed are going to cost a little bit more. And one thing I didn't mention is this also comes with an inflatable floor, which was another idea that I gave to Switlick. I said, I'm selling these to people flying, ferry pilots that are flying, across the northern seas. So they'll have dry suits on, but with a dry suit and an inflatable floor in this thing, you can last, much, much longer than you're going to be with just the dry suit in the water, because this is actually getting you out.
Well, Randy, I'm convinced until they come up with a pill to turn our visceral fat into a floating medium, this is how you're going to survive if you do have to go down in the water.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. It's a little bit of money to put something like that on there, but if you ever have to use it, it's an expense that that has no value, right? No value.
All right, well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have, and I'm going to stay, and I think Randy's going to demonstrate actually getting into this here in the pool here at Sebring in a few minutes.
And get my uglier brother to do it, or my better-looking brother.
Oh, the good-looking brother's going to do it?
Yeah, he's going to do it. He came from Houston, Texas, and came down here to help me with this, and so I told him that I would let him get in the pool for doing that.
Randy, he's making some obscene gestures from over that area, but we're not going to talk about that here on the film. Anyway, take it easy, guys, and let's go ahead and see what else we have here at the U.S. Sport Aviation Expo 2015.